Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm.
Well, do it live! Fuck it! Do it live!
7 year two. Today we're going to talk about sports, poker, some politics, what's going on in the world, and a special announcement regarding this year's WSOP online GG events. Stay tuned. The Mouthpiece is next. What up? What up? How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the Mouthpiece. Well, it's been about a month since we ran our last podcast, and I apologize for that. I finished playing the WSOP here in Las Vegas and was going to head down to Cabo and play the GG events and stream them. So many people enjoyed watching my streams, and I enjoyed doing them. So I was all set to do that. But my pain doctor was out of town, and he was in Mexico actually, and he told me that he'd be back on that Friday. So that was on August 8th, and I was going to go to Mexico on the 9th or 10th. But then he told me something that kind of told me not to go. So if you're not aware, everybody knows I had a very severe spinal cord injury in 2014. I deal with complications from that every day. And because of the meds I'm at, my immune system is very low. And he told me I'm a high risk to die if I was to get coronavirus. Even though the chances of getting it are very minute. You see people getting it all the time. Usually 1% of the population is getting it. And my injury was about 1 in 3 billion to 1. So I guess me getting coronavirus and dying was probably be about even money. So I decided the World Series of Poker will be there next year, and it's not the end of the world. Now, yes, there are a lot of people playing with agents and VPNs from the United States, and they'll probably never get in any trouble if they win an event or get caught. But I'm a big name poker player, and if I was to win a bracelet and they found out I was in the United States, it would not be good, and the all the things surrounding it. I just don't need the extra aggravation, and everybody knows my feelings politically. So I'm sure if I was to win, they would do every research possible to see if I was in the United States or not, and to disavow me winning. So, yes, there's a lot of people playing on VPNs. Yes, there's a lot of top players playing, and but I'm not going to be one of those people. With that said, I have stayed off of Twitter the last 3.5 weeks because it's just not healthy.
I don't want to deal with any bullshit on social media.
Exactly. Thank you, Phil. And it's a politically charged time in this country. The DNC convention was last week. We could talk about that. I watched that. The RNC started yesterday. I watched that. And sports has started, and I've been watching that. So, with that said, I've been watching hockey. Now that's my sport of choice now, especially with the Golden Knights. I've become a big fan of hockey. I've learned the game a lot from what I didn't know. It's like I didn't know nothing about it for my whole life. I mean, I'd watch the playoffs not knowing what I'm watching. At least now I know what I'm watching. So I've enjoyed that. It kind of sucks that, Fleury got benched for the Vegas Golden Knights. But if you watch my tweets over the last couple of months, I told you guys, everybody laughed. You could go back and check my tweets, and I said that Rob Leonard was going to be the starting goalie in the playoffs. And everybody told me I knew nothing about sports. I'm an idiot. They're never benching Fleury. He's a 3-time Stanley Cup champion. They didn't trade for him because they needed a backup goaltender. They traded for him because they knew Fleury was having the worst year of his career after his father died. Now, before that, like when the first 18 games, Vegas was 10-8, and he won 8 of them by himself. Then his father died, and he came back, and he played one good game, and he had been below average since. And it just seems like the coach of the Golden Knights just has more, he just feels more comfortable with Lanier and Ned. He trusts him more. It kind of sucks. I mean, Fleury played an amazing game against the Blackhawks, the one game he played. And I think, we'll see what happens here. Lanier, shut out in game 1 against Vancouver. So, listen, it's all about winning. Just like when they made the coaching change and Daniel was whining and crying how unfair and how they weren't loyal. The coach of the Golden Knights, Gallant, and I knew right away. I had learned a lot about hockey, and I knew right away that they needed to make a coaching change. I said right away the coaching change made the difference. You could see how much better defensively, how aggressive they are, and on defense. And I talked to Daniel a week ago, and I said, do you still stand by it, that the coaching change was a mistake? And he said, well, if it wasn't for the 5 months off, it wouldn't have made a difference. And my answer to that is horseshit. It always made a difference. And that's the same with, Rob Leonard in goal over Fleury. I mean, it's about winning. I mean, you got to put the team in the best position to win. So I'm watching all the hockey. The basketball, not so much. I did watch the Luka Doncic game against the Clippers the other day that he threw up 43. I have contemplated coming out of retirement today and laying the 8 points with the Clippers today in Game 5 against Dallas, because Kristaps Porzingis is out again, and I mean, Luka put up 43, 16, and 13. Paul George went 2 of 14 from the field for them to win by 2 in overtime. If Luka puts up 30 and Paul George goes 4 of 14, they're going to win by more than 8 points. So I'm really contemplating coming out of retirement today to bet on the Clippers. But I just, I know that I'm a sick fuck, and even if I was to win, all that would do is lead me down a dark path. So I'm going to pass on it. But for all you guys out there listening, I think the Clippers are a mortal lock today. So that's what's going on in sports. I haven't been watching that much NBA. I tell it from the heart. I'm very upset that the NBA has become so political. People who pay attention to politics, like I turn it off a lot. I know how unhealthy it is. And I go to my sports to try and get away from politics. And, something came up the other day. I didn't even know it was in game 1 of the Lakers series against Portland. I didn't know the Lakers were even playing, but I saw a tweet by Helmuth that said, what a great game, amazing game, whatever. So then I went to turn on SportsCenter, not even knowing who won yet, and they're interviewing LeBron James, and he's got a political statement hat where he's got "Make America Great Again" crossed out with a fucking dumbass logo of "Make America Arrest the Cops that killed Breonna Taylor." I mean, all that is, you want to talk that is, that's divisiveness, okay? Nobody wants your political fucking opinions, especially since LeBron James, the greatest basketball player that ever lived, on my favorite team, making political statements that, it was disrespectful for half the country. And if he wants to turn off half the country, well, gee, lo and behold, the NBA playoff ratings are down 48%. Oh, gee, why is that? Because half the country watches the NBA also. But they don't want to hear LeBron James' political views. So with that said, he's the greatest player of all time. He's on my favorite team. But, that one day really upset me. And it upset a lot of people, And, think about it if you're on the other side of the spectrum and your favorite team and the guy's on there with a hat decrying, as Joe Biden supporters as racist and no justice and blaming Joe Biden. You see what I'm saying? That you guys, or whoever you guys support. It's just, you don't do that shit. And he's a moron. So he'll come out against our country, against our president, but he'll bow to China, just like he did with the Daryl Morey situation at the beginning of the season, when he called Daryl Morey uninformed because the people in Hong Kong were fighting for their freedom of oppression, because he was uninformed because it hurt his pocketbook. And see, that's a hypocrite. I don't like hypocrites. You can't put on the back of your uniform equality and everybody deserves a fair share, but he's uninformed, yet he doesn't call out China, whose women get raped over and over and work for 20 cents an hour making his fucking shoes that he gets paid $200 million a year. LeBron James, you're a fucking hypocrite, but stick to fucking basketball. I hate hypocrites. So, I don't want to bring up politics much, but it really bothers me when somebody that uninformed, that could stand up and bow to China and fucking knock people in this country, especially half the country. Go fuck yourself, LeBron James. So I just wanted to get that out of my way. So it's been hard for me to watch the NBA with their political bullshit. We watch sports to stay away from politics and not to hear what they have to fucking say. So, that's kind of upset me a lot. The NBA is my favorite sport. And if it upsets me from watching a lot of it, I can't even imagine what it does to other people. So that's been going on there. As far as poker goes, I basically haven't played much since I last talked to you guys. I took a week off till about August 8th, completely. I then played I won like 2,600 the next session I played, and then I took another 4 or 5 days off. Overall, I was stuck around 7,000 for the month. And then I had a beautiful day the other day where I won 10,800. And then I won like 1,200 the next day. I'm playing a really kind of small right now. I was playing a lot bigger. So that puts me up about 4,000 for the month, which is good. So I'm pretty stoked about that. As far as my home game goes, it's fun and it's doing well. We have a lot of players, a lot of good people. I don't know if you've signed up for my home game yet. If you haven't, we play one $2 and two $4 no limit hold'em, one $2 and two $4 pot limit Omaha, and then I put in a 4-8 with a third kill, so it goes to $612 limit 08 on my site, in which I'm kind of teaching people 08. I did have a PL08 on the site where I was teaching people, but everybody knows in PL08 if the bad players just got no chance, and too many people were not listening to what I was trying to teach them, and the bad players were getting ruined. So I took it out for now. I plan on putting it back in probably within a month. I just want to make sure that our player base is very solid, and I do a Zoom where the people that do play in it listen to me before they jump in the game. I do Zoom with my players at least once or twice a week. We have a good time. I love Zooming with the guys that play in my home game. And shout out to everybody that does play in my home game. I appreciate you guys very much. If you haven't signed up for my home game yet, you can email mouthpoker@yahoo.com. That's mouthpoker@yahoo.com. In your email, put the Mouthpiece podcast. So for anybody who's new to the site and hasn't signed up, you can email mouthpoker@yahoo.com, and in your email put the Mouthpiece podcast, and you will get 250 in chips for 200. So an extra 50 in chips, Mouthpiece podcast in your email. So anybody that listens to my podcast that hasn't joined the home game yet, it's a lot of fun, a lot of bad players, a lot of fun players, a lot of people playing for fun. We pretty much kick out all the people who are pros or they're too good. We just tell them we don't want them. So I think we have the nicest group of players in 1, 2, 2, 4, and probably one of the softest games you could play in. So we have a good time. So email mouthpoker@yahoo.com. You'll get details how to play in my home game. Now I've been playing in the home game minimum of 2 hours every day. The last 3 days I've been playing 4 or 5 hours a day. And I'm trying to give back to the players. You know, they love playing with me. So I enjoy playing. But it's tough for me to grind $1, $2 and $2, $4 when I'm used to playing quarter 50, 50, 100, 100, 200. So even when I played in the game I played all during COVID, Phil's game, which was a 5, 10, 20 game, it played much bigger than 5, 10, 20. It played about a 50 and 100. And it was tough to adjust to that. And then I play in another friend of mine, Ryan's game, which is a $2, $4, $8 no limit game, but it plays like a 10, 20 game where everybody's opening to like 60 in a 2, 4, 8 game. So I play in that, and, but then transferring over to playing 1, 2, and 2, 4, where they actually play like 1, 2, and 2, 4. It's hard for me. Like the other day, I lost 2,300 playing 1, 2 and 2, 4. I lost like literally in the 1, 2 PLO 1,200, and I think I lost another 1,000 in a 2, 4 no limit in my private games. So I wasn't happy about it. I think I won 350 back last night. Yeah. So whatever. The week before in my home game, I won 1,900 for the week, 1,800 on the last day. of the week. That was my biggest week, and that got me about even. So overall, I'm about 2K loser in my home game over 2 months. And it's because, listen, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I play these guys a lot easier than I would in a normal game. A lot of easy hands, like a bluff I don't. There's, the good players I play hard against, but I try and take it easy on everybody else. It's probably why I'm not winning. But it's fun. The home game's a lot of fun. So we are going to take a break, and I'll be right back here on the Mouthpiece with a special announcement. And then we're going to take phone calls. I'll be right back. Huh? Oh, you can't do that? Oh, that's right. This is live. We don't take breaks, do we? Fuck off.
Until it's phone call time.
Oh, well, fuck you.
That's when you can take a break.
Oh, okay.
I have a promo I can play.
Oh, okay, Danny. Well, fuck off.
But if you want to take a break, go
I
ahead.
just
Lay back.
didn't know. All right. Welcome back to the Mouthpiece. We're back. We didn't take any breaks. So here we go. This is what's going to happen this Saturday. My good friend and my good friend Phil Hellmuth will be live streaming a WSOP bracelet event this Saturday on my YouTube channel. So you're going to be able to watch arguably the best tournament player of all time play live from Cabo on in a WSOP bracelet event. That'll be Saturday this week. So I'm going to be promoting it all week on Twitter and Facebook. So anybody that wants to watch Mr. 15-time bracelet winner Phil Hellmuth play live with hole cards on my YouTube channel, that'll be this Saturday.
29th.
What day is it?
29th.
The 29th. And we are going, he likes to late reg. So, I'll be giving you an idea about what time we'll be starting that feed. Now, with that feed, Phil's going to be focusing and not really talking much. My editor-in-chief here, Mr. Danny, has gonna set it up where I'll be the one basically doing the analysis of Phil's play with hole cards live on the YouTube channel. So that's my big announcement for the WSOP 2020 is 15-time bracelet winner Phil Hellmuth will be playing live WSOP bracelet event on my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/MikeTheMouth. That's youtube.com/MikeTheMouth. This Saturday, August 29th, Phil Hellmuth will be playing. And wouldn't it be nice if he won his 16th bracelet live on my YouTube channel? Well, that would be great. So, that is...
Because I'm good at no limit hold'em.
Oh, you are? Interesting. That's
I've lost once.
wow, Phil. That's good to hear. So that's going to be fun for everybody to watch. Now, like I said, I wanted to be there. I wanted to play these events. But my doctor just told me that if I was to get the coronavirus, I am high risk to die from it. I've left the house once in like 6 months, so I'm pretty safe with that. Actually, I've left the house about 4 times, and I wear my little pink mask when I go out. Now, the doctor did tell me I could go to Mexico, but I'd have to. He wanted me to wear that mask, which is really secure, from the second I get out of my car until I get to the hotel in Cabo. That's like 5 hours. I couldn't wear a mask that long. I mean, I could, but I don't know. I'd probably get upset. So I decided it's just not worth it. People know I like to stream, and even though, like I said, I could have probably VPN'd and played on GG from the United States like half of everybody else is doing. And I'm not just saying that. Half of everybody is doing that. Because if I was to win, they would definitely do lots of research to see where I was playing from, and I don't need the aggravation. Everybody else, they can deal with their aggravation. I'm not going to deal with it. But, and that's why, listen, like I said, I've been offered, there has been many offers for me to play from my home, play these WSOP events. I know that there's people that work for GG that are trying to get people playing in the United States that I've heard. So, but it's just not worth it to me as a top name player. And it's the same reason why Phil went to Mexico. It just wasn't worth it to him either. So, having him be able to stream an event live on my YouTube channel for everybody to watch, that should be fun to watch and fun to dissect his game.
My ROI is the best ROI in history, I'll say that.
You got a lot of sound bites from Phil, don't you? It's pretty funny. So, that's what's going on. We got baseball. You see, I'm a diehard Dodger fan. We got the best record in baseball. We have the best pitching, the best relief pitching, and maybe the best hitting. Fucking Mookie Betts is awesome. And but I haven't watched any baseball. Baseball's boring enough to watch without fans. I can't even imagine just watching people play. But baseball to me is just, during the playoffs, it's amazing. But if there's going to be no fans during the playoffs, I don't even know if I can watch that. But we'll see what happens. Now,
Why don't you get your picture printed out as one of the pictures on the...
what?
You know how fans submit their pictures?
Oh, yeah, I saw that. Yeah, people have like cardboard cutouts.
Why haven't you done that yet?
No, I don't need a cardboard cutout of me in a baseball stadium. My ugly mug. What, are you fucking kidding?
You gotta wear the Mouthpiece t-shirt. You're not thinking about
Yeah.
marketing.
All right, so that's what's going on in my life. So let's go back to the world. As the world burns. That should be the new name of this segment. As the world burns. As they burn down Wisconsin, after they burn down Minnesota, after they're burning down Portland. It's now like 90 days of rioting and looting. You won't find that anywhere on the mainstream media because they don't want you to know that everybody is rioting and looting all over the country, because they want to tell you how great America is, but they're all rioting and looting because these liberal mayors don't give a fuck, and it's all political. And for some reason, I haven't figured it out why, they think they're going to win an election based on anti-police rhetoric and defund the police. Defund the police will be the end of Joe Biden winning the presidency. This is not a talking point. This is what's going on in the country. I don't want to talk about like shootings, but I guess I must, because the complete body cam footage of the George Floyd shooting came out, and it completely destroyed the narrative the mainstream media and the Democrats sold us for 3 months. Now, that doesn't mean this guy wasn't still murdered. He still might have been. But if you look at the full body cam video, this guy was resisting arrest. He wouldn't go in the back of the back seat. He was screaming, "I can't breathe, I can't breathe, I want my mom, I can't breathe." That was the exact same thing when the officer had his foot on his neck. Now, The officer could have barely, we don't know, maybe he barely had his foot on his neck. If you guys remember, the first autopsy said he died from acute fentanyl overdose. And then the next autopsy said differently. And if you watch that full body cam footage, I mean, the guy was fucked up on drugs really bad. Now, of course, he doesn't deserve to die if the police officer actually killed him. But for 3 months, I was convinced that that was a cold-blooded murder. And when you watch the leaked body cam footage, it's appalling. And you ask yourself, why would the Democrats hold that body cam footage back? And it got leaked to the London Daily Mail, or London Caller, I think it was. Somebody in Keith Ellison's office leaked that tape. They were going to hide that from the American people. And you guys ask, why do I support Trump so much? It's, well, you see shit like that. Hiding something that divisive that was destroying America for political gain is why. The media is so corrupt, and shit like that is why. So if you haven't seen the full George Floyd body cam video, it's appalling. It'll make you think that you were railroaded, and it'll make you think that maybe this guy wasn't murdered. So that's that one. Of course, we have the one from yesterday in which you see in the background the guy fighting two police officers. With a knife in his hand, he takes off. The police officer saying, drop the knife, as he runs to his car. Now remember, police officers don't know if he's going to his car to get a gun. They don't know what he's doing. They tell him, don't go near the car. Put your hands up, get down. He goes, open the doors to his car, and gets shot 7 times. Now, I looked at the video. I think it sucks. But, I mean, when you got a knife in your hand and you resist arrest and you're wrestling on the floor with police officers and they're begging you to stop, you get shot. I mean, I don't want to bring his criminal record, but the guy had a warrant for his arrest for 3rd-degree assault, for sexual assault, for, of course, the media is going to make it out like this guy was a father of 3 and a well-standing citizen. And good news is he's going to live. The bad news is he's going to be paralyzed. But, you know, I think it's a sad state what happened, and I don't like to really comment on it, but man, you just think you could just fight police officers, pull a knife out on them, go to your car where they don't have any clue if you have a gun in the front seat of your car, and just think it's okay. You know, I just don't get it. I don't get it. I don't understand it. And the Dems will now politicize this for the next 3 weeks and tell everybody in the country how bad police are, and we got to get rid of the police, and they're all racist, and it's all bullshit. But if you watch the George Floyd body cam video, you will not see a racist cop there. You will see cops being as polite as they could to him, and you watch them screaming, I can't breathe, I want my mom, before nobody was even touching him, which was their whole narrative was he couldn't breathe, he wants his mom because his neck was being stepped on. When he says it, when nobody was even touching him. So that narrative that they spun on the American people for 3 months is disgraceful. And of course, nobody deserves to die. But that video of the body cam footage really was appalling to me. So that's what's going on with that. I watched the DNC convention, and the entire convention, all they wanted to tell was orange man bad, orange man bad, orange man bad. Uncle Joe is a nice, kind person, vote for him. Of course, they didn't mention any policies at all because they're not running on policies. They're running on Trump is mean, Joe is nice, vote for me. Now, will that message work? I just don't think so. But it could. It could. It very well could. I thought, I thought Joe Biden's speech was very good, except until he brought up the fucking Charlottesville hoax, the Very Fine People hoax, where anybody who's listening to my show who believes that Trump called the neo-Nazis very fine people, go look at the exact transcript, because he never did. He said that the white supremacists were terrible and they need to be condemned, and there were very fine people on both sides of the people arguing for the removal of the statue and the people who had permits to be in that park. Okay? The transcript is right there for all you people who hate Trump to read. Go read Charlottesville Very Fine People hoax and the transcript that was said. Because Trump's done a lot and said a lot of dumb shit, but he never said that. So for Joe Biden to go out in his speech and bring up the Very Fine People hoax that Trump never said, it discredits him. It makes him absolutely discredited as a candidate in my mind. Other than that, the speech was inspiring. It was very uplifting. It was a very well-written speech. I'm sure he probably went over that speech 400 times because you guys say what you want. The guy has dementia. He should be in an old age home for elder abuse. It's the same reason why they just announced he will not be on the campaign trail. They're going to keep him in his basement because that's what they're going to do. They will hide him. Now, with that said, I have 15,000 bet that Biden will never debate Trump. Now, he has 3 debates scheduled. I am going to stick to I love my bet because as long as he's ahead in the polls, they're never going to let him debate Trump. Why would they let him debate Trump where he can't keep 2 sentences together? They're not going to do it. Now, I could be wrong, and if I am, I'm going to lose a lot of money. So, money that I can't afford to lose. But I really don't believe that Joe Biden will ever debate Trump. And they'll say he got COVID or he's ill or they'll make some excuse up. And if I'm wrong, I'll come back on the show and I'll be the first to admit it and I'll pay my bet and I'll move on. But I still don't believe Joe Biden will ever debate Trump. I don't. What's he going to gain out of it? I mean, if he starts like rattling off his bullshit that he can't keep 2 sentences together with, and then he blows the election, then he falls into. It's not the Trump narrative; it's a fact. Joe Biden is in mental decline, and it's sad. And I heard he used to be a really nice guy, and it's elder abuse. Any way you want to look at it, and you guys. I mean, who knows? They might be able to hide him and pull off the biggest fucking hoax in American history. To hide a presidential candidate, a guy will never take an interview because he can't. Every interview he takes, he says something stupid and grenades something. So, listen, I'm not on the fence. Also, both sides are painting this as doomsday election. If Trump's reelected, the United States ends as we know it. The other side, if Joe Biden gets elected, it's the end of the United States as we know it. Guess what, folks? If either one gets elected, 4 years from now, the United States is going to be the same. Okay? Trust me on this. Now, depends on what policies. If Joe Biden gets in office and they're able to get power that they're able to change, if it fundamentally changes the United States in a different way, but I'm a constitutionalist and I believe that everything in the Constitution should be followed. So, I'm not a big proponent of all these change agents that they're trying to push forward. So you guys know my thought process. Everybody thinks I'm this big Trump supporter. I'm not. Okay. I am a supporter of policies that he enacted. Now, you guys might not like it. That's fine. We can debate policy all we want. I am completely against the policies that the Democrats are pushing. So I will hold my nose and I will vote for Trump. You know, I am, I listen. The guy says things that are just ridiculous. But you know what? It comes, it's one thing like out in the RNC Day 1 convention last night. They said, Herschel Walker, what a great speech he made at the RNC convention last night. He's like, Trump's the nicest guy in the world. He's not a racist. He says sometimes you got to say things that people don't like to get things done. And Trump is a problem solver who wants to get things done. So despite what the media tells you, the guy's gotten things done. And you'll watch the next 3 days of the RNC if you're watching that to see the things that he's gotten done. So I'm going to get done talking right now. I'm going to take some phone calls. We're going to open up the phone lines, 702-329-0480. That's 702-329-0480. We're going to take some live phone calls, and we can discuss whatever you all want to discuss. And we are going to be on here for, we're going to take about a good 30 minutes of phone calls and see how it goes from there, maybe more. So tweet out live phone calls there, buddy, and let's see what all the people listening here today have to say.
The Mouthpiece.
If you'd like to take part in our phone call segment, you can give us a call at 702-329-0480. And if you're a snowflake or a pussy and you don't want to talk to me, you can email me at mouthpiecepodcast@gmail.com. Also, follow me at the Mouth Matiso on Twitter for times that our call-in segment will be live. All right, let's see how many people want to talk to me today. Maybe nobody. What do I know? It's all good. My cats talk to me. Gizzo. There's Gizzo. He's sleeping, the little baby boy on the couch. Where's Flash? I think they fell asleep early today, the cats. Yep, my little Gizzo. He's 5.5 months old. He was like 6 inches long when I got him. Now he's like, I don't even know, 2 feet long. I mean, this fucking cat, all he does is eat, shit, and grow. I'm not gonna lie. He's a big cat, but he's a good boy. He's the only cat I've ever seen. He literally plays fetch. Like he has his little mice toys he carries them around. He drops them. I throw it. He gets them. He comes back. He drops them, and he runs. Same with his little bottle caps. I call him. He likes to play hockey with these little caps to my drinks that I have. And then he kicks them all over, and I throw it to him, and he picks them up with his mouth, carries them to me, and drops them off. He's the cat that plays fetch. It's amazing. It's really amazing to watch, actually. And he's only 5.5 months old, and he knows his name already. Tell him to come up, he comes up. He lays on my stomach. I mean, this cat is so smart. Maybe the smartest. Well, I had a cat named, my first Ace's number 1. He was like a human. So he always followed me around. He listened really well. I thought he was the smartest cat I ever had. Flash is really smart too, but this guy here, he is 5.5 months old, plays fetch, knows his name, comes up when I tell him to come up. When I tell him no, he runs underneath the bed. He knows when I'm mad. He's a smart cat. So, it's fun I'm glad to have him. He's a good boy.
Hey,
We got a what?
So we've already missed a bunch of calls. One guy texted us to call him back, so I'm gonna do that.
Oh, we missed some calls.
I don't know why they're not coming through.
Why are they not coming through, Danny? Because you suck. That's why.
Hello.
Welcome to the Mouthpiece. It's Mike. Who's this?
Hey, Mike, this is Matt from Pennsylvania.
What's up, Matt? How's it going, buddy?
Okay. I'm just sitting here watching your podcast. I really enjoyed watching you stream some of those World Series of Poker streams. I was sad to hear that you couldn't make it to Mexico this year. But
Yeah, it sucks.
what are your plans for after the World Series? As far as is there any other events going on, like
Yeah.
the WPT or online?
I'm gonna stream every day, and I'm gonna stream some small tournaments. I don't know about every day, but I'll say 3-4 days a week, maybe 3 days a week, and I'll stream some small buy-in WSOP.com events, maybe some ACR events, only because a lot of people like the streams. So, you know.
When's the next after the World Series? What are you hearing is the next big boy tournaments online coming up?
You know, I don't know. I know Party's running a big tournament. WPT's running online, but we can't play any of those from the United States. So it's like I
I would just wish they would change the laws. Well, I don't understand why they don't let people play poker from every state in the United States. And if they want to tax people or whatever they want to do to make money off of whatever, but let people play. I mean, we can't go out because of the stupid bullshit Corona shit.
Yeah.
Let people play and enjoy themselves. I mean, It's like you're keeping everybody home or telling them they got to wear a mask. It's ridiculous.
Oh, it's beyond ridiculous. It's like they act like a little piece of paper over your face is going to stop the coronavirus. I think I mean, you don't even want to know what I think. I mean,
well, you know what? If it was up to, I hope President Trump, because I think he's going to get reelected because Joe Biden's a complete mental retard.
I agree.
But I think that when he gets reelected, I really hope he looks into, because he used to own casinos, I hope he looks into legalizing gambling online in the United States.
Here's the thing you need to know. Trump is pro-casino, pro-online poker, pro-online gambling, okay? But Adelson, who owns the Sands, okay, and the Venetian and all that, is the biggest Republican donor in the country, and he hates online gambling. He thinks online gambling is destructive. He thinks it's bad all the way around, and he's a big proponent of it. And as long as he's alive and donating $100 million to the Republican Party, there will be no online poker. You know. Now,
and that's a shame that somebody who doesn't need the money, like you could have some really top good poker players out there who buy into a $500, $1,000, even a $10,000 buy-in event and can change their lives with a huge win, and they don't get the chance to do it this year because nobody's playing in Vegas. It sucks.
Yeah, and you know the poker rooms are open, but I have no interest in going to play poker. I'm not going to go to a hotel and fly to Cabo to play these online events. I'm definitely not going to play a live poker game until there is a vaccine or some kind or therapeutics that are 100% going to stop people from dying. Now, deaths in America are down to under 300 now a day, which is like peanuts. I mean, people like to look at the death thing. 170,000 Americans have died in 6 months of corona, but what they don't tell you is 190,000 people die in this country. 140,000 die in this country every month, and 190,000 are born every month. And it might even be more than that. But that the last thing I looked, that was on record. And they don't, like, coronavirus is like the bottom 3 of deaths in the United States. So they fearmonger everybody to stay home, can't go out, close the beaches, close all this. And they're doing it for political purposes. I mean, that's the bottom line. There is no other reason.
Well, And you want to know something? As it comes to poker, what I really wish they would do, I mean, especially if they're going to do what they're doing now, where people can't play except certain states and blah blah blah. They need to bring back on national television. I'm not talking apps right now. I'm talking about NBC. They need to bring back like high limit poker, so you could turn on your television, CBS, and watch you guys play.
I mean,
that's enjoyable.
We do. I mean, you could get a Poker Go subscription. It's $10 a month.
Yeah, but that's not the same as national television.
Yeah, we were gonna do they were gonna bring back the NBC Head Up. They were gonna bring back some high stakes poker, and all that got put on hold when the coronavirus hit. So, we'll see.
I wish they would bring back the NBC Heads Up Poker Championship, because you've been the reigning champion for 7 years because they stopped doing it.
I know it sucks, but
you got to defend your title.
Yeah, so they're definitely going to be bringing that back. I was already told that they're bringing back high stakes poker, and I'll be in both, and I'll be playing. My no limit game has really gotten good, putting in a lot of reps, playing every day online. I really like.
I'll tell you what, Mike, I really get excited when I watch the old clips of you playing for like hundreds of thousands of dollars. That's pretty exciting to watch.
Yeah, I don't want to watch that because that reminds me of all the money I used to have. So it's so.
The thing is, even if you get a loan, you're going to make the person's money back and then double your money.
Oh yeah, I mean I've got like 10 different people willing to stake me in these big games, I mean I just so we'll see what happens. I'm looking forward to it.
I honestly think if you let people stake you, you do really good when it comes to high limit cash games, because I'll never forget that hand where you played against Daniel and you flopped the king's full, and it was just that pot was like unbelievable. It was like $1 million pot or whatever the was.
I was the second biggest winner in high stakes poker, behind Tom Dwan, maybe third. Tom Dwan and Phil Ivey and me were top 3. I think it was Tom Dwan was number 1. I think I was 2 and Ivey 3. I ran good, but people like, oh, why you play so tight, Mike? Well, gee, if you don't play a hand for 2 hours and you raise and 6 people call, why in the fuck would I do anything but play tight? Now, if I open and they all fold, well, then I start playing more pots. See what I'm saying? So if they're gonna,
one of my favorite things that you say is what'd you say? I played them like a fiddle.
Yeah, I played them like a fiddle. Yeah, I do that a lot.
I love that.
Yeah, no, but if you want to, I know there's not much online poker in the U.S., but I got a private home game that I play, 1, 2, and 2 $4, no limit PLO. So if you want to join that, you can email mouthpoker@yahoo.com, and we got a nice group of people that play in the private game, so it's a lot of fun. And
okay, I'll definitely look into that. But before I go, Mike, I just want to say one other thing, and I don't know if this is I could be wrong here, but I really like seeing you and Daniel getting along, texting. That makes me feel good.
Well, yeah,
you two,
I mean,
back in the day, were the best to watch on TV. The banter, and I remember watching the one episode where his mom and your mom showed up at the high stakes poker. That's just really nice.
Yeah. I mean, that was we used to be really close. It's good that we're getting along now. With the election coming up, we feel
I know it's hard because
we feel it's best that we try not to. I mean, I listen. I'm very passionate about my politics, but I have tremendous, really good. I don't discredit other people's politics. For some reason, the people on the left, the party of love, they don't tolerate anybody else's views, and I don't understand that. I tolerate anybody. I literally talk with 2 of my friends that are liberals. One is on the far left, and we talk 3-4 times a week. One person I talked to last night for 2 hours. We discussed what she thought of the first day of the RNC, and she watches it, and she's on the far left, you know, and she was very disappointed with the DNC convention. She felt the same way I felt, which is there wasn't any policy, and all they did was talk how bad Trump is and pander to the black vote. Pander, 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 pander. You know.
Well, you know what? I just want to say, like, politics aside. I mean, I don't know if you ever watch any when Daniel streams the games he's been playing in Mexico. But I think it would be phenomenal if on one of those streams you just randomly called him on his phone and just attacked him about random stuff. I think that would be funny.
Yeah. Well, you know, we're going to have Phil Hellmuth is going to be streaming on my YouTube channel this Saturday from Cabo.
I know, I'm excited about that.
So that should be really good, and I'm going to kind of narrate the game because he wants to just focus. He might chime in a little bit during breaks, but that's about it.
I was secretly hoping that Phil would convince you to hop on the private plane and go down there with him.
Well, here's the deal. We talked about it. He wanted to invite. He was 40% to have me go, and then Phil's one of those people that thinks the coronavirus is going to kill everyone. So he was like, "Well, you have to fly commercial to Palo Alto, and I don't know how safe that is." I'm like, Phil, I have a mask, a good one where nothing could get in. I could fly to commercial to Palo Alto. I'm like, just like you flew to Vegas, you know, there's nothing really to worry about, Phil. I'm like, you do understand. See, here's the thing. If I didn't have underlying conditions, like, I think it's funny. I looked at a chart yesterday. 92% of all deaths are from people with underlying condition or for 75 years of age or older. 92%, right? But the media won't tell you that. They want to tell you how unsafe it is to open the schools, how unsafe it is for this, unsafe it is for that, because as long
we just go and blame Trump for everything.
Well, yeah, they want to blame Trump for everything, and they want to keep the schools closed because as long as the schools are closed, parents can't go back to work, and they have to stay home, which stops the economy from rebounding faster in the next 2 months. And that's all political. It's all bullshit. I mean, there's only 14 people under the age of 18 in the whole world that have died from coronavirus. But they want to close the schools, and they didn't. Give me a break, man. And all these fucking millionaires.
Hey, guess what?
Yeah.
Guess what? I had diarrhea this morning. I'm going to blame Trump.
Well, yeah, of course. Yeah, I fucking took a shit this morning too. It's Trump's fault. Everything's Trump's fault. They act like there was unity. Oh, we're going to bring unity. Like Obama brought unity. He was the most divisive president in the history of our country. You know?
Ask Phil Hellmuth about the unity that they're causing in his home state of Wisconsin right now, destroying family-owned businesses.
Dude, they don't care.
For a guy who got shot because he disobeyed a direct order from a police officer.
After what? He pulled a knife, too.
What are police supposed to do? Just let people do whatever they want?
They don't.
Okay, if you're going to get a gun, I'll just stand here and wait for you to shoot me
They're
first.
telling him, get down, don't go to your car. He just opened that car door. They don't know he doesn't have a shotgun in that front seat. They don't know. Their lives are at stake.
He can have a fucking handgun underneath the seat.
No fucking shit. No fucking shit. Now the Dems are going to politicize it for the next fucking month, okay? And they're going to make a martyr out of this guy who they had a warrant for fucking, what's it called? Domestic violence, sexual assault. They had a warrant for him, okay? But they're going to turn him into a martyr because he had 3 kids and he just. Give me a break. I don't even want to get into it.
You know what? It's never a law-abiding, wholesome family man that gets killed. It's always somebody with a heavy rap sheet, somebody who George Floyd put a knife to a pregnant woman's belly because I'm going to kill you and the kid.
Well,
I mean, come on, give me a break. The police don't go after people who are obeying the law.
They're not Is there racist cops? Probably. But you know what? They're not saying, oh, well, let's arrest this guy. Let's shoot him. He's black. Get the fuck out of here, man. They're so stupid. Anyways, I got to go. I got another call. Thanks
All
for
right, my
calling.
guy. I like the beard, by the way. Good beard. Good choice in color.
You got it, buddy. Take care, man. Later. Bum, 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 bum. Oh, look at this, guys. I got my new pot cartridge. Select Elite. It's supposed to be the best that they have in Vegas. We can read it together. Pure OG, 85% THC, 1% CBD. What else does it have on it? Oh, here it is. What else does it have in it? Terpene. I don't know. Should fuck me up when I go to try and get me to go to sleep. Here it is.
Yo.
Welcome to the Mouthpiece. It's Mike. What's going on, man?
Not much, man. It's Frank. What you been up to, brother?
Frank, what's going on, my man? Oh, same old shit, you know. Playing the home game every day with my guys.
How you been running?
Not so good this week. I won like 1,900 last week. A small game and everything, but I lost.
That's cool.
I lost 2,300 in one day. I won 350. I think I lost not what I won back. What I won last week, I think I lost. But so I'm just playing with the guys in the group in the home game, like 2 to 4 hours a day. We have a lot of fun with that. Watching the hockey, watching the DNC convention, the RNC convention, trying to pick apart what I liked about the DNC convention, what I didn't like. Same with the RNC, Same with the RNC convention, because I'm not a partisan hack. I tell people, I tweeted out yesterday, watch the RNC convention. If you don't, you're a partisan hack. And if you're a partisan hack, you don't give a fuck about this country anyways. So I don't deal with people that are far right or far left. You know, you have to have debate in this country. If you can't have debate, the country's going to go to shit anyways. So that's all.
I don't know what I am anymore, Mike, to be honest with you. I'm so fed up with this shit, man. Like,
well, that's the thing. You're fed up with it. I'm fed up with politics, too. This is going to be a bloody election. And then I got to turn on the NBA and watch all their political fucking statements. You know, and it's just, I don't need that. You know, I watch sports to not watch political statements.
100%. I got to be honest. And I felt like I was being censored, or I was censoring myself because I didn't feel like getting attacked. Because if you have an opinion, if it's contrary to liberal or left wing, then you could lose your
You could lose your job. You could lose everything. See, that's what
turned upside down.
That's what people don't understand. That's why Trump's going to win. Don't pay attention to the polls. If you think people were afraid to say they were supporting Trump in 2016. How many people you think are going to go out there and say they're supporting Trump in 2020? Okay,
yeah,
I mean, this is cancel culture. They want to that's. I mean, at least me and Daniel can agree on one thing: cancel culture is the worst thing to ever happen to this country. You know what I mean?
I believe in capitalism.
Yeah, but you can't cancel people.
I can't agree with nothing, man. I don't know. I mean, Daniel, to be honest with you, I like to punch him in his face sometimes, man.
Well, I mean,
he's
very
an
opinionated.
Intelligent guy.
I got the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah, I know. And you know what pisses me off? Because, like, his opinion's the only one that matters. You know what I mean?
Well, that's because he's a sheep. And that's not knocking him as a person. A sheep, definition of a sheep. A sheep is somebody that watches only CNN and MSNBC and then regurgitates that to social media as fact.
Yeah,
okay?
100%.
Now, I have plenty of liberal friends that aren't sheep. I even have my friend John Garza. He's not a sheep. He fucking hates Trump's guts. He fucking tweets out disdaining things about Trump. But guess what? If I tell him to watch something on the right-wing media or watch a video, he'll watch it. If I say to Daniel, hey, send him something to watch it, his answer is, oh, that's from Fox News. That's all propaganda and all lies.
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
You know,
yeah, and then guess
that's
what?
A sheep.
You're an asshole, and you're
right.
you're retarded. I hate using
Correct.
that word, but
no, I agree.
You're crazy. You're mentally ill because you're right wing.
Right.
But
the thing is,
whatever. I didn't call it to
only
talk about Daniel, but
right. That's it. Listen, I've known Daniel for 22 years. He's very opinionated. He uses his opinion as fact, and he always thinks he's right. And that doesn't mean that he's not a good.
I think the perfect word, Daniel, is a self-righteous prick. And I think that's if I had to sum him up in a few words.
You know, listen, that's a fine opinion to say, but I know deep down he's a good-hearted person. Okay, it's
that's
like
cool. You guys are friends.
You know, it's like it's the same with Phil. You know, Phil says some of the most outrageous, dumbest shit. Okay, but deep down, he's a good-hearted person. And in the poker world, in a cutthroat industry of the poker world, there's not that many good-hearted people. There's a lot of good people, but when I say good-hearted, I'm talking about people who will go out of their way and do things for other people without hesitation and care about other people. And Phil is one of those people, and so is Daniel. Now, when it comes, he is very self-righteous and he is very opinionated. That he is. But, you know, listen, a lot of people
Money
say
isn't the source of happiness.
Yeah, a lot of people will say he says a lot of bad things about me on his podcast, but you know, he does it out of frustration.
Are you guys that tight of friends?
We used to be.
You know, say shit like that and be cool? Because the way it looks to me that he's not your friend when he says things like that. That's just how I take it. I wouldn't speak about a friend of mine like that.
I agree, but he listen. He takes his politics with him to the grave. Like, I say this to people all the time. If you get too wrapped up in politics, it'll destroy your life, whether it's on the left or the right. And I've been there. I've been where politics has controlled my life, so I understand it. You just gotta, like, honestly, like, you don't see me much on Twitter the last month, and you won't see me much in the next 2 months. I'll throw some comments.
I don't get on social media at all, to be honest with you, man. Yeah. I want to tell you something, honestly, while I have a platform, whatever. I want to say, I feel like my rights are being infringed upon, and that's what I don't like. Like, I seen this Goodyear shit that came out about,
unbelievable.
Like, you can't say all lives matter, Black Lives, but Black Lives Matter, LGBTQ, homo is all good. Excuse me. You know, not that I have anything against that.
No.
I mean, morally, I don't believe in it, but that's me. Whatever. But I feel like
I agree.
Honestly, I think it's a double standard to say Black Lives Matter and you can't say all lives matter.
Right.
If you're a heterosexual white male in this country, they talk about white privilege, you're fucked now.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
the God's honest truth.
Yo, you can't say a fucking word. No shit. Because they're pushing an agenda. And I know it doesn't sound like much.
That doesn't have the black community in their best interest, to be honest with you. They're using them.
Of course they are. They're using them. They don't give a fuck. What if Joe Biden or even Obama for 8 years done for black America? Nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Look
done
at what
nothing.
Beetlejuice has done in Chicago. You
exactly.
Know what I'm saying? Go
Beetlejuice. She does look like Beetlejuice. That's funny. She looks like the little dude from Beetlejuice. That's so funny. At the end there, the little head. That's fucking funny. That is funny. I have a lot of friends that live in Chicago. The Chicago's burning. Chicago's burning. Fucking Wisconsin's burning.
What is it, that Millionaire Mile? That area, man?
Yeah.
Shit, you know? I want to say this also, man. What was that little boy, God rest his soul, 5 years old, got shot in the head? Do you see white males going and burning and looting Louis Vuitton and Gucci? Because it has nothing to fucking do with the matter at hand.
It has nothing to do with Black Lives Matter. That's why I called out LeBron at the beginning of this show. And just like the guy from Orlando Magic who stood for the national anthem, and they were asked why he didn't kneel. He's like, because I don't believe in the Black Lives Matter movement. If they actually cared,
if you have a problem with America, then get the fuck out.
Right. If you cared about Black lives, you'd care about the 60 shot last weekend and 5 killed. No, nothing to be heard of.
About Chicago, and then come talk to me about the 7-8 we got dead from police.
Right. 9 unarmed police officers, 9 unarmed people got killed by police last year. 7 were justified. Okay, 8 this year. Okay, you're talking about millions and millions of arrests. It's a fucking lie. They're selling the American people, and because they got the media lapdogs in their pocket, they can pass the lies. That's all. That police. I just can't even believe a
man. This
major.
country's going to shit.
How is a major political party come out and condemning police? I mean, that's how much they want power.
Fucking ridiculous. 100%. Yeah,
81% of African Americans want more police in their area. So what are they following? Are they following the 10% on Twitter? The far left crazies on Twitter? I don't even understand.
Go to Baltimore. Yeah, go to Baltimore and defund the police and see how it turns out in a month.
Listen, I think the riot and the defund the police and the Joe Biden not calling out the looting and all the crime and the murders and everything going on in this country will be the downfall
That's
of him.
ridiculous.
But
yeah,
if you watch
I'm all for peaceful protesting,
Right.
man. That's our, it's our right,
as
Americans. But this rioting and looting and shit, it's ridiculous.
But
and
you
anybody that
watch
stands for it, I'm
left-wing
sorry.
media, you won't hear a thing. They're fucking
They
silent.
glorify it, though.
This is
Yeah,
why
they'll
I know
say
I'm on the
that's their
right.
reparation.
Frank, this is why I know I'm on the right side of history. Because you have a media that's completely ignoring the country fucking burning and hundreds of black businesses being burned to the ground. Where their Black Lives Matter. That's how I know.
100%.
The only reason why they're not showing it is for political purposes. That's how I know I'm on the right
Absolutely.
side of history. That's it.
You want to know
Period.
something too, man? Like with these statues they want to bring down and stuff.
What a joke.
Obviously no one believes in slavery. We all know that's fucked up
Yeah.
and it's abolished. All right, but the truth of the matter is that history is there for a reason. Because if we don't learn about it, it might
repeats
repeat
itself.
eventually.
Of course it will.
Exactly.
And
There you go.
Read the book, The
Common
Rise and
sense.
Fall of the Third Reich. You'll learn a lot about how Hitler came to power and shit. If you erase history, history will repeat itself. Okay, you have
100%.
to make it better. You have to learn from your mistakes. When people put out an offensive tweet when they're 14 years old and now they're 28 and working in the White House, you don't bring up a tweet and try and cancel them. Okay, that's just out of line. Just like when Doug Polk went after Daniel for fucking wearing blackface in 2003. First of all, I was at that party.
Jesus.
He dressed up as
It's
a
not that big
Jamaican
of a
guy.
fucking deal. Things like that. I
Yeah.
got to say this too, man. Please,
Yeah.
and a lot of people might get mad at me for it, but they talk about cultural appropriation. That drives me crazy. All right, you can't wear a dashiki. You can't do this. You can't do that.
Yeah.
It's cultural appropriation. A white girl wore a
Yeah,
Asian style
bullshit.
dress, and that's cultural.
Bullshit.
But how about? I have to say this. How about wearing weave? That's not natural hair for African Americans. So how is that not cultural appropriation?
I don't know, man.
You get what that's a double
The
standard.
bottom line is this.
I don't give a fuck about
here's
it.
the
But you
thing.
know what I mean?
Here's the thing that bothers me, and I'm gonna end our conversation on this note because I got another caller.
That's cool.
Okay, is this? We live in the greatest country in the world, the home of the brave, the
Amen.
land of the fucking free. Okay,
Exactly.
Not the land of you gotta wear a mask, you gotta be inside. We don't live in a land of government telling us what to do. That's China.
Yeah,
okay?
all that shit is just grooming.
They
grooming
want to
them.
put China fucking policies in our country, okay? They want to fucking silence free speech. If somebody wants to call me a kike because I'm Jewish, that's their prerogative, okay? Because it's their free speech.
I mean, it's not
okay?
cool, but right,
It's not
yeah,
cool.
right.
It's their free speech. Just like when the ACLU stuck up from the white Klans Nazi people in Skokie, Illinois, 30, 40 years ago, or in the 70s. That's their right as Americans for free speech. Now, all of a sudden, if you say something they don't like, you could fucking lose your job. You could be canceled.
100%.
Okay?
Your life
They
is turned
don't
upside
want
down.
free speech. The left is suppressing free speech, and that's why. Listen, I only fucking lean right because I didn't know shit about politics. I took a survey, and one of the questions was, do you need an ID to vote? And I'm like, of course you do. And the left is all about no ID because ID is racist because people can't afford an ID. It's a joke. The government can issue mandatory voting ID to everybody for free. It would cost them 10 cents each in bulk, maybe 20 cents each. But the fucking left don't want it because they want the illegals to vote. Okay? It's the
Absolutely.
same reason why they don't want to secure the border. But the right, there is gerrymandering and voter suppression because they do it because the other side does it with the fucking illegals. So both sides
sure.
are fucking are literally responsible for voter suppression and trying to get other people to vote. And that's the same reason why they want mail-in ballots. What they don't seem to the media on the left won't tell you. What the media on the right does is there's a big difference between absentee ballot and mail-in ballot. Absentee ballot,
Right.
you have to put in for them to send you a form. Universal mail-in ballots, they're sending out hundreds of millions for anybody who's on a voting roll. And half the
Gotcha.
people have moved or are dead. I know.
Yeah,
listen,
absolutely.
I don't know many people. Okay, I might know 20 people like that I'm friends with, and 3 of them have dead people, relatives that they've been voting for more than 10 years. That's all you need to know.
That's crazy.
3 out of
There
20
you go.
that I know. So how many
That's nuts.
how many dead people are voting? You know?
Yeah,
And-
100%.
And listen, Trump's 100% right. If you get universal mail-in ballots and you don't know where they're going or who they're going to, they're going to vote. Then they're going to go to voting booths and vote again. You're not going to know because you
That's
don't
funny. That was the plot
need.
of the movie Black Sheep.
Yeah, you don't need an ID to vote. See, people think that the right just makes this shit up. Yes, in Nevada, you need an ID to vote. But in California, New York, all these liberal cities, you don't need an ID to vote. I know many
That's
of people
crazy.
who have voted 2, 3, 4 times that live in California. They've
That's
told
nuts.
me. Okay,
That
that's
is
why.
nuts.
That's why listen. I think if it was on the up and up, fucking Trump would win California too. Look what they've done to that state. They've destroyed it.
Yeah, 100%. Shithole.
You know,
Shithole. Shit on the streets, needles on the ground. It's nuts.
dude. My cousin had to move. He lived in a very nice neighborhood in the valley because there was homeless people and shooting up all over the street, down the end of his street. His daughter couldn't even play on the street. So
That's ridiculous, man.
it's ridiculous.
Hey, let me ask you a poker-related question, man,
Sure.
and I'll let you go, man.
You got it.
Hey, what do you think about this heads-up match? If you had to set, is there a line set on it? And with Daniel and Poke,
Doug Polk's a favorite.
I think he's a huge favorite. If
But
I had to say,
I
think he's probably a 3-1 favorite.
I don't think so.
I got the heebie-jeebies.
I don't know. Daniel has a good teacher. I like Daniel's chances.
You want a sweat bet on it?
Doug hasn't played poker in 3-4 years. Daniel plays every day. Let me tell you something. In No Limit Hold'em, especially head up, there's a lot to be said about that. So, but it doesn't matter because
You want a $500 sweat?
you know
bet
why it
between me
doesn't
and
matter. You have to understand this too. No, I'm not going to take a bet with you. But you know what? You have to put this into consideration. Doug's playing his own money, whatever he wins or loses, and plus $1 million. Okay?
Oh, they're betting $1 million on the side. That's awesome. I
Yeah,
didn't know that.
GG Poker is putting up all of Daniel's buy-ins plus the $1 million if he loses.
Right.
So Daniel will be playing where he has nothing to lose.
Yeah, it's
You know
gonna
he's
shoot
going
a
to
lot more
try.
plays and whatnot.
And if you don't think $1 million, I don't care how much money Doug Polk has, $1 million plus whatever, maybe it's 1.4 million. That's a lot of fucking
No, I'm
money.
sure he's selling some of his action, though, to be honest with you. I mean, secretly, honestly.
Maybe.
I would imagine so.
Maybe, but the other person's playing for zero, and everything he wins is in
Right.
his pocket. So
Yeah, he's free rolling.
That, so
That'll
that's a
make it
that's a big.
difficult.
You have to put that in consideration too. So, anyways,
Yeah, I
gotta
didn't know
go,
that.
Frank. Thanks for calling. I appreciate it. Thanks for
Keep
listening to
making
Mouthpiece.
content, man. I'm
And
enjoying
if
this, brother. Take care.
if you haven't joined my home game yet, you can check it out. Mouthpoker at Yahoo.
Yeah, I tried depositing last night. I'll play tonight.
Oh, I think that was you last. Maybe that was you last night. That somebody came in and
Yeah, it was
said,
like 4 in the morning.
Yeah, it's funny. I figured it might have been.
Yeah, I was drunk as shit. I came back from the bar and
Yeah,
wanted to play. So,
my guy
yeah,
was-
I'll be on tonight.
My guy was sleeping. All right, you got it, buddy. Take care, Frank. Later.
See you, bro.
That was a good conversation. That was fun. Got another call? Let's see what's going on in the hockey game. It started at 4.
Hello.
Welcome to the Mouthpiece. This is Mike. What's going on, buddy?
Oh, just hanging in there. How are you doing today?
Good, man. Who's this?
This is BC, Virginia Beach from Texas. Hold on, I'm trying to mute you.
All right. Sounds good.
On the Twitch.
Yeah, no problem.
Turn that off. No, I've seen you on TV before, and I turned on your stream just recently, and I saw that you were, touting the marijuana thing.
Yeah.
And your vape that you're doing, and then I saw the political stuff and everything. Yeah. And my question basically lies in the fact of, poker being a non-productive thing. As far as that goes, have you ever had some epiphanies as far as that goes, and the fact of
getting out of poker?
No, not getting out of poker. It's like, it seems like you're spouting off all this stuff, and it seems like you're screaming into an echo chamber instead of doing anything productive as far as, and I'm not saying that you are or aren't. My question is, what do you think, that lies in what you're trying to pull off?
Well, what are you trying to pull off? I'll explain to you what I'm trying to pull off, okay?
First, ask him if he's ever listened to your podcast.
Have you ever listened to my podcast before?
I have not, and I apologize. Okay. I'm a first time.
Oh, great.
Time,
if you listen to my podcast, you'll understand pretty much what I was trying to pull off. Now, I was going. We had our podcast very mainstream. I had a lot of mainstream political people on. I was going to take the podcast mainstream for the election because politics sells. There's a lot of money to be made in politics.
Sure.
I ended up deciding on just speaking my opinions and not getting too political, because I was in a contract negotiation for a casino in town here where I was going to be bringing the podcast live from their sports book, and also we have a couple 100,000 people that listen to the podcast, and so they didn't want any politics, so I backed off of politics, and then and then the coronavirus hit, so we didn't get the deal. But what I'm basically trying to do, you're asking me what I'm saying, is in the poker world, we have a lot of people, a lot of young people who are literally brainwashed by left-wing, leftist, like professors that they went to college with. Literally, I turned this thing off, and now it keeps going on. And so what I'm trying to do is somewhat educate people. Like, they like to spout bullshit on Twitter, and I have to combat it with what I believe is the truth. And there's a lot of truth that they don't see because left-wing media lies and covers up so much of the truth that's going on in the country. So whenever they spout bullshit, if they don't, for a while I was just answering them and going into Twitter wars with them. And I said to myself, that's just stupid. So basically I have my podcast and people listen to me. I kind of explain what's actually going on because I am very well educated in politics because I was basically bedridden for 15 months because of my injury. So I have learned a lot, and yes, I know Trump's not the nicest guy in the world, but I also know what his policies did for this country until coronavirus hit. And in this country, listen, it's not about who's the nicest guy in the world. You know what I'm saying? It's
I'm really not trying to get into that. Not the point I'm trying to make. The question I'm curious of is, have you explored, exactly who you are? I know you were bedridden. I mean, you're doing marijuana now. Have you done mushrooms? And if so, have you found enlightenment, and this has this is your cause and that is what you want to go for, or are there other things
Gotcha.
that you think you can help the world in?
Well,
period?
that's the thing is I, after I got sick and I was, very sick for like 4.5 years where I could barely move. It gave me a whole new perspective on life. My whole life revolved around the green felt, playing poker my whole life. And then I got into politics, and I'm writing a book. It's called Poker, Pain, and Politics, How All Three Made Me a Better Person. And basically, it's really nothing to do with really poker or politics or pain, but it has everything to do with it. In other words, I played poker, and the only thing I knew about was the green felt, right? Then I developed the injury, in which I lived in chronic pain, debilitating for 4.5 years. And then politics, in which I learned how many people are suffering in the world. Like, I never even watched TV for 25 years. So all I ever knew about was poker, sports, HBO, or going to a movie. I never watched news. I never watched any sitcoms. I didn't watch one episode of TV for 25 years. So once
on that edge, I mean, you're one of the top 1% of poker players.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else, the other 99, are probably on that pain and edge also.
Right.
My curiousness is when did that epiphany come? Or has it? Or
it came. Basically, when I stopped feeling sorry for myself. For 3.5 years, all I did is blame everybody for my injury, feel sorry for myself, and play the victim. Okay? And if you could relate, and then I learned in life, you got to play the victor. You can't play the victim. Okay? And when you go in and you relate that with politics.
But does that mean that there has to be a victim for you to be the victor?
Well, you can't be a victim. Okay, and this is why I became politically engaged is, what does the left tell you every day? You were born.
I wouldn't know. I'm disengaged.
Okay, good. Well,
what they basically turned on and dropped out.
You're smart. Okay, I'm glad to hear that. But basically, they're telling you don't have a fair shake because you're this color.
They're telling people.
Yeah, or you're Mexican, or you're African American, and you don't get a fair shake because of the color of your skin, or whatever. And they play the victim card, okay? Which is what I did for 3.5 years. And in life, my dad used to always tell me before he passed away in April, used to always tell me, in life, son, you have to work. You want to be successful in life, you have to work hard at it. And the other side's telling you, vote for us and we're going to help you, and you don't need to work, to be successful.
But if somebody who's gone through a major injury like yourself and kind of really seen, what life is really about,
right?
I mean, what is your idea of success? Is that money and power, or is that
it's about
enlightenment,
right now?
Passion?
That's a good question. And my answer to you is, right now, I want to help the world. Okay, I want to make the world a better place.
How are you doing this?
I'm doing it through my voice, through my podcast, through my actions, through charity.
And I'm not
poker.
saying you're not. I'm just curious.
Through charity poker events, through even my private game where I'm running a game where I'm Zooming, giving back to my fellow poker players. That many times I've had people say, I want to play $1, $2, or 50 cents in a dollar with you. Will you come join my room? Well, now I open my own room where they get to play with me, Zoom with me. I'm trying to give back to the poker community in that way. I'm also trying to give back to the world. I'm trying to help the world because, it's really weird. You hear about all these people who have this guy's a billionaire and he just gave $10 million to charity. I'm like, and then like poker players will say, well, that guy just gave $10 million to charity. I said, do you understand that's like me giving 10 cents? Okay.
Sure. Absolutely.
I said, and I give probably $50,000 a year to charity. So
sure.
if somebody's worth 150 billion, okay, and I'm worth 300,000, and I'm giving 50,000 a year to charity, okay. With these people that are worth 150 billion, that if they give 50 billion or 10 billion a year to charity, I'll respect them. Not 10 million, you know. And it's all irrelevant, you know what I'm saying? So does that make me a better person because I give that much to charity or whatever? No. It's the thing is in this world you gotta care about other
the road
people.
To hell.
Yeah, you got to listen. The reason why the coronavirus is still as bad as it is, even though it's reached a record low
The one
today.
thing I saw you say about that, if you don't mind me interrupting, one thing I saw you say about that kind of just didn't rub me the right way was, you know, all these young people aren't dying of this, and the problem is those young people go see grandma, you know, and grandma's dying,
but
you know, and that's,
but listen,
and that's the kind
grandma and grandpa, they've lived a good life, okay? What's gonna these kids?
Dude,
what I'm trying to say is these kids, okay, if you keep kids locked down and out of school, they are going to be psychologically destroyed their entire life. Think about when you were 15, 14, 13, 12, okay? And think about how traumatized, like what would you, I mean, these kids need to be out and they're healthy.
I have a nephew right around that age group, and I understand that, and
listen,
there's no easy answer.
No, there isn't.
Easy answer. It
It
feels like I mean, like I said, I'm a first time.
I appreciate
this is my first time tuning in. It seems like you're on the more aggressive side of, you know, those fuckers are wrong and us fuckers are right.
No, I'm not.
Doesn't fly with.
No, I'm actually not like that.
That's just how it felt. That's just how it felt
Yeah.
in the first. Like I said, 30 minutes. I got home. I turned on your Twitch.
Only
because it was suggested to me.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Yeah, and no, I mean, I have my own political beliefs. Okay, like I lean 5 degrees right of center. Okay, but that's my opinion. Now the thing is what can we all do to make the world a better place? And that's kind of, you know, when you said, do I have an epiphany?
It's easy. Don't be a dick. Don't be a dick. It's fucking easy.
You're right.
That's the fucking
You're right.
answer.
Don't be a dick. And I tell people, and this is without being religious, I say this to people all the time. How would the world be if everybody in the world followed the 10 Commandments? That's it. That's all they have to do. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt not covet. Thou shalt not murder. Thou shalt not fucking whatever they all, you know, there's whatever they are.
If you don't covet anybody, you're never going to get married.
What's
so
the
then you
biggest?
can never fucking commit adultery.
But what's the biggest problem with the world? Everybody is jealous of what other people have. They covet.
Well, and that goes back into poker. Everybody's out for themselves.
Correct.
So
and
how can you?
You know, that's a big problem in this country. You know.
Well, I mean. And then, I mean, poker is a zero-sum game. I mean, there's winners and losers, period, end of story.
Right.
You know, and
but like,
you've got to reconcile that with yourself. And, I mean, I'm not saying you do. I'm just saying one has to reconcile that with
But when I play poker...
Say, look, I'm not making the world better or worse. Yeah. I'm just existing. But, I mean, it seems like, you know, you want to make it better. And
no, I do. And the thing is my whole life I cared about playing poker and what was good for me. Now I care about what am I going to do to make this country and the world a better place. And that's coming from my injury. That's coming from me going broke fucking 8 times. That's coming from me used to have no value for money.
Rookie.
Well, after the 5th, I said I'd never go broke again. And then I went broke again and again. But now I'm never going to go broke again. And it's because I've learned a value of $1. I've learned other things outside of poker. And it's a shame it took me to 49 years old, almost 50 years old to figure it out. But at least I figured it out. And
I'm just a little younger than you, and I appreciate the conversation and you opening up like that. You know, I'm not going to give you any advice, but man, just positive fucking, you know.
You got to be.
I mean, take some mushrooms and fucking find out what the world is really about.
I've never done mushrooms. They used to want me to do it back when I used to be addicted to all the drugs in the early 2000s. I used to say,
it's not about it.
I know, but I used
It
to say
will change your addiction.
I used to say I have enough drug problems, so I never did it. I never smoked pot till 2 years ago. And smoking pot, I only smoke before I go to sleep. And I take a couple of hits because it helps me go to sleep. But when I started smoking a little bit of pot, it allowed me to get off the antidepressants. It allowed me to get
Good
get
for
off
you.
of the sleep,
Pharmaceuticals are bad.
get off the sleeping pills. And it's helped me out mentally tremendously. I can't even
Good for
begin
you.
to describe.
Good for you.
So, I mean, I'm not a big fan of.
Have you
smoke.
had any strange, awesome epiphanies where you were stoned and just
Oh,
man,
absolutely.
I fucking see something else.
I see
clear
everything,
now, and this-
dude. Like all the things that I see, like I literally. That's why when I have my opinion of I truly, from the bottom of my heart and every instinct of my body tells me that this coronavirus was released on the United States and the world on purpose. Okay, and most of that
And
comes
it may
from,
have well be. It may have well
Yeah.
been, but
And most
I don't
of
think
that-
you and I have the info fucking channels to know if it was or
Right.
wasn't.
But
we
most-
just know that it's here.
But most of that comes from when I am smoking pot and I get in a deep thought and then I do a lot of searching. And there's way too many coincidences that have happened for this virus to not have been done on purpose. And if
Well, how did one day taking a political test and seeing that you shouldn't have an ID to vote turning to I love Trump, who is the antithesis of not a good person,
because
in my opinion.
But again, do I want to? When I see one party saying,
But why are you? Where is the gray?
okay,
Where
well
is the
because
gray that you're
because
talking about?
because
Why are you seeing black and white?
the policies, okay, until the coronavirus hit, the United States had the lowest unemployment in the history of the country. Lowest unemployment for
I haven't
black
turned
Americans.
on the RNC yet, but
Yeah.
I know for a fact that they did not update their policies from 2016.
Okay.
They have not
Why would
figured
they?
out what
20
they're doing.
But the
Why would they?
2016
Because
policies,
they're
the
it's
policies
almost
had
the-
them had the lowest unemployment rate in the entire history of the country for black
That was
Americans.
inherited. It was inherited.
It was not inherited. That's what the left
Okay,
wing
maybe
media
it
is
wasn't.
telling
Maybe
you.
it wasn't. I don't know enough to say
Go-
whether it was.
Let's
or
put it
wasn't.
this way.
I apologize.
Go
I'm not going
look-
to get into a political
Go,
debate. I
Go,
apologize.
Go look what the unemployment rate was when Trump took office, and go look what it was in February before coronavirus hit, and go look at how every single record, stock market, every record, we broke every record for everything there was economically. And when you have economic success, the country has success. So do I hold my nose and I vote for a guy that's going to help the country economically, not for a guy who's been in
I
office.
think that's what you should do.
Right.
I think
not
you
for
should.
right.
You know,
Not for a guy who's
that should help the country.
Right. Joe Biden has been in office since I was 3 years old. I'm 52 years
Good.
old. What did the guy do for
they're all
49
dumb,
years?
But how come you haven't had the epiphany of right left? They're fucking all fucking.
They
douches.
are all.
And
I
they're
say
all
it.
out to get
You
us.
got to listen to my podcast. I say it every time. I say the left.
Okay.
This is what I say. I say the left is evil. The right are a bunch of crooked criminals. So I said, what am I going to do?
I believe you. I believe
Right.
that's your stance.
Right.
I mean,
so do you go for evil or do you go for criminals? And I'm like, well, crooks just steal. Evil destroys people. And I said, I'd take the crooks over the evil. And that's where I say. But no, I call them both out. Are you kidding? You have to.
No,
And
I don't doubt that.
Yeah, and listen.
I'm just worried.
I've had some really high end, like the one of the speakers at the RNC last night, Andrew Pollack. He was on my podcast. Okay, he's a very pro-Trump conservative. I've had Scaramucci.
What was that girl from fucking Puerto Rico? Fucking Don Jr.'s girlfriend. Or whatever.
She
was horrible.
Yeah, she was yelling. I thought she was terrible. Also,
Yelling and then pretending like she's like some first generation American when like
way
her
too loud.
mom's
She was
from
way
Puerto
too.
Rico and just,
Listen, it was. She didn't need to yell. I thought it destroyed her message, and she usually delivers a good message. I thought it was very
what
over the
sucks
top.
is I say I've tuned in, turned down, dropped out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
because I still care, but
Of course.
like,
Well, like I said, I was on the phone with my friend who's on the far left last night. We talked for an hour and a half, and we discussed what we thought was good at the convention, what speeches were good and what were bad. And guess what? We agreed on all of them. So when they say you can't,
all right, well, let me hear your opinion on the fucking the couple with the guns.
well,
and
I thought that was more of a political speech, and I agree with them. But I also
you agree
know
with them that they don't want fucking poor people around them.
no, they don't want.
you know,
There's a video of them, those people, threatening their lives and threatening to kill them and their dog. See, you won't see that anywhere else.
No. But you didn't see that they also fucking destroyed the fuck. They're both fucking lifelong lawyers who are just
I read.
POSs.
I did. I heard about
You know,
that from my
and that
friend. I heard about that from my friend on the left.
And with the beehive.
Yes,
But, like, just,
yes.
these aren't good
I didn't
people.
know about that
And-
till
and-
the day before yesterday. Okay, and she told me what horrible people these people are, and she told me all the things that they have done with the lawyers, the beehives, and all that. And I'm like, yo, that sucks. Those are bad people, but that still doesn't give the people the right to threaten to kill them.
I
on their
agree
own
with you.
property.
I agree with you, and I don't
You know,
believe that they
but
did.
I didn't
but
think-
that's
I didn't
another
think
debate for later.
Right. I didn't think
That's
that
another-
they're, but I do believe the speeches at the convention last night that touched home were Herschel Walker's. I thought that Herschel
Sure,
Walker's,
absolutely, out in fucking Texas, baby.
right,
Austin,
Scott, Senator Scott, Tim Scott was amazing, and I thought the
Texas.
Cuban,
Well, what about Trump's? What about Trump's?
well, Trump hasn't given a
Trump
speech.
just sitting around and like pointing out people. Oh yeah, I did that for you. I saved you from this and this, and it's me.
Well, he did.
Me.
He did. What
I mean,
Obama?
but
Obama
his
let him
time to
sit and
sit-
fucking. Obama let all those people sit there for fucking years. Trump got him home. So yeah, he did do that for them.
He also let fucking. I mean, I'm not gonna.
Listen, let's not get into
into
political
it with you.
discussion. I'm
Hey,
not
man,
a
but Mike,
Trump supporter. Okay, I used to be. I can't stand him as a person, but I'm going to hold my nose and vote for him because I believe he gives the country the best path forward policy-wise. Go take a look at the Republican platform. Go take a look at the Democrat
but
platform.
Dude, I
I know.
know how I'm going to vote.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying policy's important.
It just sucks that we're so divided.
It
I'm
sucks.
45.
I agree.
I don't remember being this divided ever in my
wa-
life.
I mean, it was
And-
in 2016. I know that. The first year I was political. I mean, the country had never been more
Well, in
divided.
2016, the first year, I fucking flipped a coin for which third party I would vote for, only for the fact that, I really, honestly, this is the absolute truth.
Listen,
only because I want a third party to be viable. I mean,
I
we've
agree.
got-
There should be a third party. And don't think that Mark Cuban won't start one in 2024. Mark Cuban
Dude,
is
what-
running for
what- what
president
is his
in 2024. I guarantee you. And I think he's going to win. That's my opinion. Okay? Now, he said he'll never run as a Democrat, so he'll either run as a Republican or a third party. So this should be interesting to see. And guess what? What are they going to call Mark Cuban racist if he runs as a Republican? Because everybody knows he's not racist, just like they know
Enough
Trump's
with
not
that.
racist.
Enough with that whistle wolf calling
Yeah.
bullshit.
Yeah, I agree.
No racist. Dude, I am anti PC, and I consider
Yeah.
myself
Me too.
fairly liberal.
Right.
But
I'm
hate
liberal on
PC
all
culture, and the snake
Yeah.
will eat itself.
Yeah,
in my opinion,
for sure.
Yeah,
For
and I
sure.
think, I think the snake is eating itself on that other side too. And what
is.
makes me sick is that I'm having to say that there's another side.
I
You
know.
because I want us all to be
I agree.
right here in the gray.
Listen, it's
right
one.
here in the fucking gray.
Listen, me and Daniel disagree politically on everything, but when we were texting about one thing, you know what he said? We said, I agree with you 100% on that. And that was our founding fathers, okay? Now, granted, there's only been like Democrat, Republican for like since the 18...
Well, the Whig party.
whatever,
that
but
was fucking,
there was another party, there was the whatever. They didn't have different parties for us to fight about. It's so they had different people have different ideas to help move the country and help the American people. Okay? Now it's fucking political warfare where if you're not on our side, you're anti-American. And that's just not the way it should be. And I'm against it. So I agree with you 100%.
Well, how on your podcast can you bring in people who obviously know you feel a certain way about something,
Right.
And how can you show that you're fucking
Well,
willing and able to talk about
Well,
something?
that's why I bring on people. That's why I have phone call conversations for people like you, and I have guests that come on from the far right, from the far left, from the moderates, and I have them come on and make their case, and we
But do you
we
try
debate
to
them.
destroy them?
No,
Do you try to-
I
mean,
respect
like I said,
anybody.
Like I said,
Are you kidding?
I have no idea. I have no idea about
No,
this
I
stuff.
respect everybody's opinion politically or in the world. I will listen to anybody, but I'll also debate them if I think they're spewing talking points and not thinking for themselves. It's very important in this country to think for yourselves. Don't get involved. Don't pander to groupthink. If you just become somebody that just believes everything you see, because we have the most corrupt media in the history of the world.
But what percentage of people do you think fall into that? Because I think it's a much less percentage.
Oh, no.
Especially on the right and the left.
I think both the right and the left are all groupthink. I think they
it's
fall
obvious though. Like
Yeah.
CNN, CNN's at least showing the RNC.
Yeah.
I mean, Fox didn't.
Fox showed the whole
showed the
DNC.
DNC.
Of course they did. I
No,
watched
they
it on
did
Fox.
not. I watched fucking Fox.
You
and
are
they were
fake news.
It was fucking Hannity just talking shit during the whole time. It was. I
But
watched
no,
it,
they
but
showed
they did not.
they showed from 8 o'clock at night till 9 o'clock. They showed the full hour. Okay. Now the CNN showed the whole 2
But what
hours.
I'm saying, my point being is that both sides are fucking ridiculously.
No shit. I agree. We agree on something.
But there is no semblance of even hiding it or even actual news.
I agree. I
There
agree with you.
is just opinion.
It's propaganda, propaganda on both sides. And
So
the
we
thing,
can agree with that.
Yeah, and the thing is, you
absolutely
asked me what I get out of smoking pot. When I smoke pot at night, I watch the political shows, okay? And when and listen, it's important because when you smoke pot, you can see through everything, right? I can see through all the propaganda, right? I could tell you every time Trump's lying and every time he's telling the truth. I can tell you every time they're spewing propaganda on the right and every time they're spewing propaganda
You're not
on the left.
sure. You're not.
I know it.
Real.
I do.
I know. But once you, I'll give you some mushrooms and then you'll question it.
You know what? When you get to Vegas,
nothing
listen.
fucking-
I've never tried mushrooms, but if you come to Vegas, hit me up. I'll try them and I'm gonna check it out.
Well, I mean, I'll say. What do I have in Vegas, dude? I'm terrible at 1-2 fucking poker. I'm not gonna win there. I'm not good at poker.
Well,
I was a poker dealer, so
so was I. So was I.
I was
man.
the smartest guy in the fucking room at that point.
Yeah. All right, man. I got some other calls coming in. I appreciate this. Is a
All
great
right,
conversation,
enjoy
man.
yourself, man.
Thanks for tuning in to
one-
Mouthpiece. Appreciate it.
One last thing. If you get an opportunity, just remember to let everybody know to donate their organs when they die. Please.
I agree, man. I agree. You got it, my man.
All
Take
right,
care.
be
Thank
safe.
you. Have a good one. Bye. All right, we got another call or no?
Yeah, we got one more.
One more? All right, let's get it.
Hello.
Well, welcome to Mouthpiece. This is Mike. What's going on, man?
Hey, Mike.
Who's
Hey, how
this?
you doing, buddy?
Good. This sounds like a familiar voice.
Yeah, I've called before. We've talked, actually. My name's Champ.
Oh, yeah. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. I'm actually at the Horseshoe right now in Tunica. I'm about to, we're eating at Marlowe's right now. I'm about to go into play some 1-2 Clove.
Oh, cool. Cool, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been down there many times. Many times.
Yeah, you like Tunica?
No. I swore in 2004, or, no, what is it? 2004, I would never go back, and I've never been back since. Because there's nothing to do
You
out
never
there.
go back.
There's just nothing to do
There
out
isn't.
there.
I mean, there's not. There's not shit around.
You could go to that Platinum Plus fucking strip bar in Memphis. That was fun. I like Memphis, but it's just nothing to do around there. You're kind of stuck around there, and when you're there for a couple weeks,
I mean, that's the only place you can go is Memphis. I mean, you
Yeah.
can't go. I mean, there's nowhere else. I mean,
yeah, but
Tunica.
I enjoyed. I mean, I went to the Elvis Presley thing. I did a lot of. I ate at that famous rib place down in Memphis. They had the best barbecue ribs. Forgot the name of it. What's the name? What's it called? Rendezvous. Yeah. So I mean, it's it's pretty cool, man. So
Hey, so after COVID, all this COVID shit, where's the big games gonna be? I mean, where online or cash?
I mean,
Where's
right
the big
now
cash game?
there are thousands, not hundreds, thousands of underground online poker rooms where you could play anywhere from 10-20 to 2,000, 4,000, no limit hold'em, and PLO.
Oh, really? On Poker Bros?
And no, Poker Bros, my buddy's site, and then there's the poker. Most of the big games are being played on the Poker RRR app or the Poker Bros app, in which you can have no rake or you could charge rake. But those apps are pretty good. And I have my own. I started my own private game about 2 months ago, and it's doing well. We get it's a little slow this week. I figured it would be because I haven't done much podcast and I haven't done any streaming.
Right, I've been missing your live streams. It's been a long time.
Well, I live streamed one on Saturday. We had about 600 people watching it in an hour, which is really good because it was just basically a 500 WSOP event. So I wanted to see. The thing is everybody's in Mexico streaming the WSOP events, so it's very hard to compete with that. But for me to have gotten 600 people, why the WSOP events are going on, that tells me I'm going to start streaming. I'm going to start streaming small events 3-4 times a week just for fun, help promote my home game, and I think that that's going to be good. Now I'm also
that's awesome.
I'm
also
also
get Tom Dwan in the game again.
Yeah.
So another question: how was Tom Dwan when y'all played? I mean, was he as good as everyone said he was?
Tom, he was a lunatic. He's 100 times better today than he was back then. 1,000 times.
Oh, really?
Better. Oh,
better
yeah.
than Antonius?
No, Patrick Antonius is really good.
Now, don't get me started on Daniel Negreanu. I mean, Jesus Christ, that motherfucker's a joker.
He's all right, man.
I got the heebie-jeebies.
He's all right, man. He's just a very opinionated person, and but he's got a good heart, I don't.
That's true. He does have a good heart.
That's all that really matters,
if you can hit hearts anytime you want them, you're gonna hit a flush and you're gonna win.
Yeah. That's just it. And listen, I'm going to have. I just announced. I don't know if you heard it, but Phil Hellmuth is going to be playing on my YouTube channel live. WSOP bracelet event from Cabo on Saturday, this Saturday, on my YouTube channel. So that should be interesting and fun. I'm going to narrate all the hands he plays without him being. If he wants to chime in, he could, but he told me he's probably not going to. So I'll be doing it all.
I know there's a rumor going around that about the Wayfair, and that's how you've been getting your money for the buy-in.
What's that? I'm sorry, what'd you say? Hello?
About how you're getting the money for the buy-in with the cash advance.
How I'm getting money for buy-ins? What? Oh, we lost him. I thought we had a bad connection there.
No, he hung up.
No, he was getting a bad. He couldn't hear me. We could call him back, or I can answer his question, pretty much.
Yeah, what did he ask?
He was asking something about how I was getting money for the buy-ins. No, I have my own money.
Something about Wayfair.
Yeah, I don't know what that meant.
I don't know what that means.
But no, I have my own buy-ins. I put myself in all the tournaments. I'm financially doing okay. I think I owed $783,000 before COVID started. And I owe about $160,000 now, so I'm doing good.
Hey, I'm sorry about that. I think we lost connection.
Yeah, what was the question you asked? I didn't hear that. You had
I
something
was
about
just
buy-ins.
wondering. The buy-ins. So, why do people say that? I mean, you have to sell stuff to get a buy-ins and stuff like that, pawn stuff off.
I have to pawn things? Because that's what people like to
that's
say.
all over the chat and everything. I just want to make sure
They just like to lie. They make up shit. You know what I'm saying? When they're more than $1,000 buy-in tournaments, I sell pieces of myself on use stake because I don't want to put up 5 and 10 and 20,000 in tournaments. Okay.
Right.
Phil
Yeah.
Hellmuth has never ever in his life put up his own money in a poker tournament. Okay, and there's a lot of people that haven't, but they like to.
Yeah, that's bullshit. I've always
know,
got your back, man.
All
the
the high rollers. You hear about those high rollers of people are 100, 200, 300,000 buy-ins. Do you know
Right.
that?
I mean, they all get supported by
90% of them
buy-ins.
are being put in, and they're playing for between 5 and 10%. Most of them 5%. Okay, it's a fucking lie. The high stakes, high limit fucking poker scene is a fallacy and a lie, and it discredits poker because these people buy in, and most of them are losing players. They win one score and win like 8 million, and they're like 10 million in makeup, and then they jump you for all-time money lists. It's just a lie. It's a fallacy.
So,
none of them are playing for more. Only like maybe 10% are playing for more than 10%. Okay, so
really?
That's how that goes. But no,
insane.
I put up all my own money to play poker, except for if it's more
Yeah,
than.
I know. I support you 100%. I love you.
If it's a 5K buy-in or more, I sell half of myself because I don't want to put up 5K in a poker tournament. You know, and most poker players do. So that's all.
So do you have any tips for me tonight when I go play the 5-10 hold'em game tonight? I mean, what are some? I mean, I play all the time.
I don't know, man. I play tight, and all I do is win. So, I believe tight is right. I think you should throw a few curveballs in where people think you're gambling. Okay, maybe.
Yeah, I'm more of a cash game live.
So you understand. If you play a lot of cash, you know.
Yeah,
that.
I play tie here and there. I'll throw some 3-4s out there.
Right. You throw a couple 3-bets in there. You open with some 7-8 suited, some 9-10 suited. You bet, they raise. You fucking 3-bet them big. They fold. You show them the 10 high, and then you go back and you play ABC because once you show them one bluff, every time you bet, they always think you're bluffing. So poker is about deception, man. You set yourself an image, okay, which everybody thinks I'm the
Mike,
tightest.
I want you to know, Mike, I want you to know you're one of my favorites because you're real. Because you don't bullshit. I mean,
No,
you're just one of the
tell it
most
like it
real
is,
in the game,
man.
and I love it. That's why I
Yeah,
support
you have.
so much.
Listen, I'm very honest. I don't. I respect other people's opinions, but I tell it like it is. Everybody in the poker world thinks I'm the tightest player in the world, as I rob them blind. You know what I'm saying? That's fine. They watch my tournaments, and I finished 10th in one. I got to the last 3 tables of like 3 of them. Did I play tight? Yeah, I play tight online because it's very hard for me to read people. Okay, and you don't get to stay at the same table with the same person that often to know how they play. So the best way for me is to just play tight, but like in the cash, once I learned how they play, like in the cash games I played during all COVID, they all thought I was the tightest player. Once they thought I was the tight, I started raising them on the river, raising them on the turn, and they're folding 2-pair to me. They're folding flushes to me, and I was just crushing them, robbing them blind. And then I told Phil, I've robbed 34 out of the last 35 hands successfully. He goes and tells one of the best players in the game that I've been robbing them blind, and all of a sudden him and this other guy, they start check raising me on the turn with nothing. I'm like, Phil, I didn't tell you I'm fucking robbing these people so you could go and tell them so they could beat me. I'm like, what? And we got in a big fight about it.
Right.
But listen, I have this old saying: if you ever think you're running over, if you ever think you're running over a good player, you're sorely mistaken. Okay, I'll let people think they can run me over, and I'll let them think they can run me over, and I'll give them the image they can run me over, and then I'll change gears, and for all those blinds they stole from me, and all those little pots they stole from me, I fucking big bet rob them back 100 times.
Yeah.
So the most important thing is set an image. Go ahead.
I got one more question. I'm about to roll to the casino, and
Okay.
I appreciate the tips. I love you so much. I support you.
Yep.
Can't wait for the next podcast
Yep.
and next live stream. I can't wait. But how much pussy did Elvis Presley get?
A lot. Fucking wait, probably. I don't know if he got as much as Wilt Chamberlain, but he's up there. I'll tell you that much. That's for sure. And listen, man, if you ever want to play some small 1-2 and 2-4 no limit, or you have any friends that play 1-2 or 2-4, have them join my home game, Mouth Poker at yahoo.com. And it's a pretty soft game, and it's a lot of fun. We have a
Sweet,
lot
I
of
can't
fun.
wait. I'm definitely gonna try getting this home game. I got a uncle and a cousin and a couple others that just
Cool.
love you, and we're definitely gonna contact you and get started.
Yeah, and I play
appreciate
and
your
I Zoom
time.
with my guys at least twice a week. The other day I Zoomed with them for 5.5 hours. That was
Awesome.
That's a lot for me to play 1-2 and 2 $4. But these guys are good, and I help them out with hands, and I try my best to do what I can. So, I appreciate the call. Thanks for
Yeah.
listening to the Mouthpiece, and tell all your
Hey,
friends.
I appreciate it.
You got it, man.
Hey, I'm sitting with Poker Pro James Placek right now, and he told me to give you a shout out. Say hello, Mike.
All right, man. Tell them I said hi. I appreciate it. You
All
got
right,
it.
man. It's great talking to you. I appreciate you. Love you. I'm can't wait for your cash game. Let's go.
You got it, man.
Make
Take
some money
care.
tonight.
You
Good
got
luck.
it. Peace. We got one more? All right, let's do it. Fuck, what's the score in this hockey game? It's almost 2 hours old. I got to watch the end of it.
Hello.
What's up, man? Welcome to the Mouthpiece. It's Mike. How you doing?
How are you, Mike?
What's going on?
I just have one question that I think varies in a lot of different states in poker, but so getting into tournament poker, obviously people see prize pools and stuff like that. What's
Right.
the honest truth about taxes?
I mean, you have to show you could show your losses. You could write off. I mean, I keep track of my cash game wins and losses, and I keep track of my tournament wins and losses, and then you just got to pay at the end of the year, whatever it is. I owe the IRS a lot of money, but that's okay. I'm going to pay them. But tournament poker's tough, man. I tell people all the time. I mean, every time I go deep in a tournament, I always scream out, I respect all you motherfuckers that play tournament poker for a living. You all fuckers are crazy, and I say it all the time because, unless you make the final three, you just don't make any money and you waste 3 days. There's just so much easier to make money in cash. So, I've never been a big tournament fan. I just happen to be good at tournament poker. So I play the WSOP, and I play like 2 events a year beside the WSOP. So, and I enjoy it. So, that's what's on with that.
So is rake basically the tax form of cash game players? Is that basically they would get taxed as opposed to tournament players that get taxed by the government?
Well, I mean, you have to write up. You gotta show your wins and losses even in cash games. When you submit your, you have to have a ledger. Just when you submit your taxes at the end of the year. So you could write most of it off. You know what I mean? Unless you're Phil Hellmuth, he loves giving the government like $2 million a year. I don't know. This guy, he's like, well, I don't want to get audited. I go, Phil, you're a professional fucking poker player. I'm like, you could write off losses, you fucking idiot. So, but we joke around that all the time. Like
My ROI is the best ROI in history. I'll say that.
But I love Phil. But Phil's going to be on my YouTube channel this Saturday, live from Cabo. He's going to be live streaming one of the WSOP events. So that should be fun to watch.
Are you crazy, Phil?
Yes, I'm going to be tuning in for damn sure.
Yeah.
So now, last question, but I don't want to keep you hanging on here. For your home game, now, can I play? I'm here in New Jersey. Is there any way I could sign up?
You could, email mouthpoker@yahoo.com, and you can sign up and play. Right now, it is slow. We have a 3-handed game. Usually doesn't get going. 8 o'clock, we usually have 2 full games going. It used to start off at 4 in the afternoon, and then it used to go to midnight. And now what they're doing is they're starting around noon they're playing from like noon to 4. Then the game breaks, and then they start back up around 8 o'clock, and they play till like 3 in the morning. So we were doing getting about 5-6 games a day going when I was streaming, and then we've been getting between 2 and 3 going the last 3 weeks. So it's slowed up a lot, but I'm going to start streaming again. I'm going to promote the game when Phil's streaming on Saturday, because I'm going to be doing the narrating. Phil's just going to be doing the playing, and he'll chime in if he wants, whenever he wants. So that should be fun. Should be interesting.
Awesome.
Make sure my boy Danny over here gets the setup all right for him.
I've lost once.
Awesome. I'll definitely be in there.
All right, man. So it's nice talking to you, man, and appreciate it. And thanks for listening to the Mouthpiece. And tell all your friends if they play $1, $2, or 2-4, no limit hold'em. Email mouthpoker@yahoo.com, and if you email the Mouth Podcast, you get an extra $50 in chips, so you get $250 for 200.
Awesome.
So I appreciate it. All right, man. Take
All right,
care.
thank you. All right,
later. Well, everybody, another episode of the Mouthpiece is in the books. I'm sorry there's a month between podcasts. We're gonna try and get Sousa's WSOPs over, see who won bracelets, get them all on the show. Talk some sports, talk some politics, and remember, if you want to play 1, 2, or 2-4, no limit hold'em, PLO, or $4-8 with a kill, Omaha 8 or better limit, email mouthpoker@yahoo.com, promo code Mouthpiece Podcast for an extra $50 in chips. Thanks for listening. I'll see you all next time. Peace. I love you all.